the message a lot. Now, watch this. I'll show you how sharp the Bible is, right? Now, Sunday message, last Saturday, Houston, Sunday, New Orleans. Sunday message came out of the 26th chapter of Matthew, right? Dealing with what? Dealing with the time when Jesus going to God and Jesus telling Peter, James, and John, say, bro, y'all wait right here and watch and pray for me while I go do what I'm doing, what I do with God, right? So now, watch this. Jesus say, I'm exceedingly sorrowful for what's getting ready to happen, right? Now, Jesus knew that the time have came for him to face death, right? So, now watch this. Yesterday, I was at the funeral, right? Now, never lose sight of the message. The message was about sin, right? So, now watch this. A lot of times you hear me talk about different denominations, Baptist, Catholic, Pentecostal, Kojic, what have you, right? Now, if you invited me to church, mother, cousin, sister, brother, whoever, right? And you all are Catholic, right? So I don't know how the Catholic denomination do. I don't know how I roll, right? Why? Because I come out of the Baptist. Okay, now, I may be in the service, I may not. I may be in the service and I may say some stuff like, well, why they doing this? Why they doing that? Not knowing because of denomination under Catholicism, this is how they hold service. So as they come on and say, at every service they're going to have communion. Now, why? I don't know, but that's them, right? That's because of denomination. Now, watch this. Yesterday, the message, right? It got missed because it went over our head. Would we attend church if it wasn't for debt? If it wasn't for debt, would we attend church? I'm talking about because yesterday I was at the funeral, right? Now, you don't have to answer that. Watch this. If I take you all the way back in the book of Genesis, God told Adam if he touched that tree, he was going to die, right? Now, Adam didn't understand it. Adam touches the tree. So now, because of Adam, we have to experience physical death, spiritual death, eternal death. Physical death, spiritual death, eternal death, right? Okay, now, if I take you in the 8th chapter of Romans, Paul said up until now, why? Because before a question was asked, well, why I have to do this way? Why I have to do that this way? Because of what Adam did. As we come down through history, right? I'm just running it all together to give you a better understanding because people say you was all over the place. No, I told you what you needed to know. Why? Because regardless of your denomination, regardless of how you believe, when that black or that white thing pull up, they're going to pull you out of it. It's going to ride you around. That's it. So whether I'm Baptist, whether I'm Catholic, whether I'm Pentecostal, that don't even matter. My faith, my trust, and my belief must be in God. Right now, so a lot of times you might hear me talking, right? And one thing about me, I'm forever learning from God. I'm forever learning from God. But we so accustomed to things going a certain way. We so accustomed to things being spoken a certain way till we really miss the message. We really be missing the message. But when you get in tune with God and you stay focused on God, you're going to catch any and every message that somebody throw out there. Why? Because God going to reveal it to you. Now, I'm going to open that book. I'm going to read some stuff to you, right? I was at the funeral yesterday, and the way it was said, it was the mother, how she wanted things to go. But, okay, we want things to go a certain way, but it ain't going to always go the way we want it to go. That's understandable, right? Now, as somebody told me, PastarMike, you was all over the place. No, I gave what God wanted you to have. Why? Because I'm always discussing about all these different denominations. I'm always discussing about sin, which is death, for the wages of sin is death. I'm at the funeral, so regardless of how you believe, how you think, with that, see that little white thing outside, see that little white car outside, they're going to ride you around regardless. Now, I'm going to open this book, take you back to the garden. It didn't end on the cross. It ended in the garden. It started in the garden with Adam. It ended in the garden with Jesus. Now, regardless of what they be preaching, regardless of what they try to make it say, according to the Bible, God's will that was said all the way in that garden, God's will is being done. But we can dress it up and he went to the cross and all your sins were paid on the cross and okay. If he would have never said what he said in that garden, ain't no such thing as a cross. If he would have never accepted God's will in that garden, you wouldn't be no new creature. Now, according to the Bible, according to the Bible, according to the Bible, because of all these different denominations, because of all these different teachings, because of all this other stuff, this is why we believe the way that we believe. Like I told them last week, when it come down to being an usher at that door, if you go to any other church, if somebody pray, they're going to stop you at that door. They're going to stop you at that door. I tell my ushers, I don't care who's praying, I don't care who's talking, let them people in. You left your house or wherever you was at to come to church, right? But I'm going to stop you at the door. Oh, you can't come in here. Why? What that's written in the book? What that's about? Well, they're interrupting. But they need to interrupt. You need to get in here. Let the people in here. And a lot of people, because of people, I was looking for a reason not to come to church. You just gave me one. Why? Because you didn't let me come in the door when I got to the door. I don't know y'all church ethics. I don't know how y'all do all this church stuff. I wanted to come to church, like the young lady said last Sunday in church. I already knew they was going to judge me. I already knew they was going to say something about me. She left her house. She left her house with that mentality. So now when she get in the church, she see it totally different. Why? She said, babe, you can have orange hair, purple hair, pink hair, green hair. And that don't faze us. You can have whatever you have on. That don't faze us. So the young lady said, well, the church said, come as you are, baby, I ain't talking about your clothes. Don't ever get that twisted. That is not talking about your clothing. That's talking about your heart. This is why in the garden, Peter, James, and John. Let me read this stuff to y'all out the Bible. Let me run my Bible. Yesterday on Running Friday, the funeral was the closing of what was going on in the garden. Why? Because in the garden he dealt with physical death, spiritual death, eternal death. Where? In the garden. So now, here it is. Let me read it for you. Read something to y'all. We went through the thing. Be not evenly yoked with unbelievers. Stop. Be not evenly yoked with unbelievers, right? Right. Yeah, okay. But yet Paul said, how can they believe in whom they have not heard? And how can they hear except they have a preacher? Who he's talking to? Who is he talking to? Unbelievers? That's what you would say. But the Bible says, be not evenly yoked, be not on one accord with an unbeliever. Who is an unbeliever? He tells you, Christ or Belial, Satan. I'm not evenly yoked with Satan, but I'm rolling with you, bro. I'm rolling with her. They may not have the understanding that I have. They may not have the knowledge that I have. That don't make them an unbeliever. But yet, here y'all come with that. But they're unbelievers. Say, bro, you're not going to believe the way I believe. I got that. I got that. But with the knowledge, with the wisdom, with the understanding, I can help you to believe. But we so used to judging, we so used to categorizing, and we just be missing the message. Now, if that be the case, according to all of that, watch this. I'm going to read something to you. Say, y'all might think PastarMike be slip. I don't never slip when it come down to God. Why? I could be talking to you, but I'm focused on God. Why? Wait, God. That don't make sense to me right there, God. I'm not going to wait. No, God, help me understand that, God. I always told my members, I don't want to preach nothing I haven't experienced. If I ain't experienced God, I don't want to preach that. Because why? Because I'm not coming from my heart. I'm just running my mouth. And that's what messed a lot of people up. Why? We love running our mouth. I was thinking right now, watch this. I grew up 8 years. I went to private school, I went to Catholic school, right? Okay. But I'm going to Baptist church on a Sunday. Now, watch this. In the Catholic school, I really didn't learn nothing about God. And in the Baptist church, I really didn't learn nothing about God. Not because I didn't want to, I just did, right? Now, if I'm a Baptist pastor, why would I send my child to a Catholic school if it's really about denomination? If it's really about belief? I'm a Baptist pastor, but I'm going to send my child to a Catholic school. Make that make sense? If it's all about the belief. Why? Because I'm teaching my child one way at home, and then they're being taught another way at school. Make it make sense. Who can be more confused than that? Now, watch this. Say, go, all right. You're going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. You got it, babe. All right. Come here, Timothy. Come here, Mark. Let me go to you, Mark. I'm coming, Romans. See, PastarMike said, but we 3 years in this thing. Why would I switch out now? We 3 years in this thing. Why would I? No, bro, no, that man, look. If I don't know nothing else, I know the Bible. Woke, sleep, dead, walking, whatever you want to call it. Watch this. According to the Bible, in the 16th chapter of Mark, watch this. I will read verse 14. Afterwards, he appeared. Afterwards, he appeared unto the 11. This is what? This is after the death, the burial, and the resurrection, right? Right. This is after he prayed in the garden. Right. Watch this. After he appeared unto the 11 as they sat at meat, and as they sat at the table, and rebuked them with their unbelief and hardness of heart. What happened? Jesus, Mike, I rebuked him. We sitting there eating, Mike, I rebuked him. Why? I know they didn't believe in me, Mike. But the Bible said not be evenly yoked with unbelievers. You got to get rid of them, Jesus. Nah, Mike, that's my boy. And they didn't have no understanding. But why you say that, Jesus? Come here, Paul. Come here, Paul. According to Romans 10 chapter, I'm going to read it to you. Y'all going to start telling all these lies in these churches. And y'all going to stay woke. Don't miss the message, baby. Might not be coming out their mouth. Always pay attention because it's going on around you. Watch this. According to the 10th chapter of Romans, come here, Romans, not you, come I'll get you tomorrow. I might freak out to you tomorrow. I don't know. Whatever God give me the seat. According to Romans, 10. Romans 10 says this. Watch this. Romans 10 and 13 says, for whosoever shall call upon the name of the Lord shall be saved. Whosoever. But they're unbeliever, Mike. Whosoever. Whosoever. An unbeliever can call upon the name of the Lord. So whosoever. Watch this. Then, verse 14, Romans 10 and 14, how then should they call on him in whom they have not believed? And how should they believe in him in whom they have not heard? But the Bible said, don't be evenly yoked with unbelievers. You got to get rid of them. You got to get rid of them. Man, shut up. What is she talking about? Well, help me understand the unbeliever. Because all of us was unbelievers before we believed. So now make it make sense. Mark 14, 16 and 14. Afterward he had appeared unto the 11 and sat at the table and rebuked them with their unbelief and hardness of heart, because they believed not them. Because they believed not them which had seen him after he was risen. Say, brother, didn't Jesus say, y'all, you gonna do this? Y'all seen him open blinded eyes. Y'all seen him unstop a deaf ear. Y'all seen him loose a dumb tongue. Y'all seen him call the lame to walk. Y'all seen him call Lazarus out the grave. Say, bro, I didn't believe that. You didn't believe. Y'all don't believe he rose out from the grave? You don't believe that. So Jesus sitting at the table with him. Can y'all make this Bible, make y'all church stuff make sense? Because 1 minute y'all saying it, the next minute y'all saying that. Well, okay, well, explain that to me then. I need some understanding. Now you won't look stupid. Well, you made yourself look like that. Why? Study to show thyself approved as a workman under God, not being ashamed, but rightly dividing the word of truth. God, I see you turn the pages, baby. I know you're going to get the way you want to believe. We discussed this during the week. Got it. Watch this. And they come again to Jerusalem. And as he was walking in the temple, there came to him the chief priests and the scribes and the elders, and said unto him, by what authority do thou these things? And who gave thee this authority to do these things? They're talking to Jesus. Watch Jesus. Jesus was trying to do. Watch this. And Jesus answered and said unto them, I will also ask you a question. Just like I said. Be not evenly yoked with an unbeliever. What is an unbeliever? Because according to Jesus sitting at the table, after he rose from the dead, he rebuked them because of their belief and unbelief and hardness of heart. So when you see, you told that man, leave that woman, you told that woman, leave that man, and you told them people leave one another because they didn't believe the same way. Well, y'all make this stuff make sense because y'all be telling lies. Or better yet, y'all not fully explaining y'all some accurate. And Jesus answered and said unto them, I will also ask you one question. Answer me, and I will tell you by what authority I do these things. The baptism of John, was it from heaven or men? answer me. And they reason within themselves, saying, if we shall say from heaven, he will say, why did you not believe? But if we shall say of men, they feared the people, for all men counted John that he was a prophet indeed. And they answered and said to Jesus, we cannot tell. And Jesus answered and said unto them, neither do I tell you, by what authority I do these things. See, Phil, we got to get this thing together, big. I'm at the funeral yesterday. Catholic church. What's that, big brother? Normally, in the Baptist church, we don't do it like that. But who's have us to understand the difference? I probably feel it some type of way. I'm ready to go. I come for a funeral. Now we having communion. Well, no. Because we just run in places, we just run in our mouth, and we don't have a full understanding. So now Jesus is telling them, see, bro, I know y'all don't believe in it. Y'all really don't believe. Y'all horse too hard. Y'all horse too hard. This is why if I go back to the 11th chapter of Mark, Jesus, before he got into that discussion when he come to Jerusalem, Jesus had told them, say, bro, when you pray, you need to forgive, that you may be forgiven. A lot of us running around, our hearts are messed up. But because Pastor done lied, what the Bible say, come as you are, so you come in there looking any kind of way. In your heart, man. It's about your heart. It had nothing to do with what you have on. Because guess what? Regardless of what you have on, if all of our hearts are right, we wouldn't even pay you no mind. Not like you think we're going to pay you in your mind. We're going to love on you. We're going to respect you. We're going to pray for you. If our heart's right. But if you walk in there and our heart's not right, of course we're going to judge you. Why you have that on? Why you look like that? Why you smell like that? Why you acting like that? Because our heart's not right. And this is why our heart's got to be right, man, in order for us to accept the people of God. This is what Jesus is dealing with them at the table. This is what Jesus is doing in the garden. Why? Adam messed that up. Come here, come here, Mark. See, never a point. I just be falling back to see where y'all coming from. I just fall back to see what y'all gonna pick up. Why? I told y'all I'm gonna always keep it street. I'm gonna keep it academically, and I'm gonna keep it spiritually. Watch this. According to the 8th chapter of Romans, I'll start at verse 18. Now let's back it up to 16. I like 16. Romans 8:16 says, the Spirit itself breathed witness with our spirit that we are the children of God. And if children, then heirs of God, and joint heirs with Christ. If so be that we suffer with him, that we may also glorify together. 18. For I reckon that the suffering of this present time are not worthy to be compared with the glory which is be revealed in us. This is why, in your blue folder, not the Bible, your blue folder, 1st and 2nd Corinthians, then Romans. 1st and 2nd Corinthians, then Romans. Why? Because in 1 Corinthians, Paul say, I have not seen, ear have not heard, neither have it entered into the heart. But yet the next verse, verse 10, Paul say, but it has been revealed. Yeah. This is why you got to stay focused on God. God going to reveal the game to you. Stop that man, people run game on y'all. Listen, watch this. What you say, big boy? You good? Windy out there, huh? What's that? What's on your mind? You see? Look at that chair over there. I don't have nothing in it. I'll get it straight around your one. Oh, they be right there. Verse 19. For the earnest expectation of the creature waited for the manifestation of the Son of God. You heard what I just said? Romans 8:19. For the earnest expectation of the creation waited for the manifestation of the Son of God. Watch this, verse 20. For the creation was made subject to vanity, fertility, not willingly, but by reason of him who had subjected the same in hope. Who? Adam. So ever since Adam, all the way, ever since Adam in the garden, to Jesus in the garden, we was messed up. But we didn't do it. We didn't do it. He did it. But because of what he did, we got the blame. But right here in Romans, right there in the garden, this is why he said in Corinthians, it has been what? Revealed to us. By what? The Spirit. Why? Because we are children of God. But we got to do some serious detoxing, people. Y'all get in y'all feelings when I say what I say, but I'm saying what I say because of what I've read and studied and what God has revealed to me through his word. And a lot of stuff don't add up. So when I say these things, I'm like, okay, explain this. And the average one of y'all can't explain it. Like, no, you're pastor, because I ain't trying to hear that foolishness. So now, when you really get the proper chronological order, study how he wrote Corinthians, then you'll have a better understanding of Romans. But if you don't know what went on in the garden, now you be running out there talking about, if I don't curse no more, I'm a new creature. No. This was about the whole creation ever since Adam. And since Adam messed up in the garden, it had to be fixed. It could only be fixed through Christ. But we missed the mark. Why? We're making the sign of the cross, and we talking about what happened on the cross. Hey, but that ain't got nothing to do with it. Nothing. Why? Okay, tell me about all this cross stuff. In the Old Testament, tell me about the cross. I can tell you about sin. I can tell you about Adam. I can tell you about the coming of Christ. I can tell you about death. People, the Catholic Church come out of Rome. A majority of your churches, majority faith belief is a spin-off of Rome. This is why Paul said, I had to go to Rome. When Paul got this new revelation from God, he had to go to Rome. When he went to Rome, they beat him. Read it again. Romans 8:19. For the creation, for the earnest expectation of the creation, waited for the manifestation of the Son of God. For creation was made subject to the vanity, not willingly. Not willingly. I didn't will for sin. Adam did that. Still your charge. Your charge can't be fixed until Jesus comes. Not willingly. For creation was made subject to vanity, not willingly, but by reason of him who has subject of the same hope. Because the creation itself also should be delivered from the bondage of corruption into a glorious liberty of the children of God. For now, verse 22, Romans 8:22, for now that the whole creation groaneth and travaileth in pain together until now. What's until now? In the garden. In the garden. This is why when you keep reading, he's going to tell you. When we get to verse 28, all things work together for the good of those that love the Lord, and those who have been called according to his purpose. His purpose. Why? Ever since when he told that serpent in the garden that I will put intimate between thou seed and the woman's seed. Oh, yeah. Just that simple. So when they say certain things, really, bro, here you go right here. Explain that. From Adam all the way to Jesus, explain that. It's called creation. We was in trouble till Jesus came. Why? What happened with Cain and Abel? Cain killed Abel. Now they got dead in the world. God said, okay, I'm going to fix that temporarily. Come here, Enoch. He called Enoch up. Enoch never died. He had to deal with death. Jesus, it wasn't going to be finally dealt with till Jesus come. Boom. So now, nothing but sin in the world. Why? Because God told Cain, say, bro, sin wait for you at the door. Sin waiting for you. So now, when we get to Zechariah, God is dealing with what? Temporarily dealing with sin. Through who? The high priest Joshua. When he said, give me his filthy rags, he is temporarily dealing with sin. But when the time comes, as it is said, we not willingly sinned, but we had sin because of what Adam did. It had to be fixed. I don't care how you believe, I don't care what you believe. It could be a white hearse or a black hearse. It's gonna roll. It's gonna ride you around while you're talking that noise, while you're running your mouth. We get so caught up in these denominations. We get so caught up in our feelings. So when we follow people, we don't follow God. We really don't know nothing about God. Why? We going by what we hear people say, and we watching what people do. Come back here, Mo. Come back here, Mo. Man, you was all, no, I wasn't. I gave you what God wanted you to have. Because the time gonna come when you gonna have to ride in that hearse. Ain't no more hope. Hope is gone. Hope is gone. But because they done manipulated us, because they done played us, because they done did up there and said, bro, I ain't finished like this. In hardness of the heart, they believed not them which had seen him after he was risen. And he said unto them, go you in all the world, and preach the gospel to every creature. Not just Baptist, not just Catholic, not just Pentecostal, every creature. How he that believe and is baptized shall be saved, but he that believe not shall be damned. Matthew 26 and 28, then said he unto them, my soul is exceedingly sorrowful unto death. My soul is exceedingly sorrow unto death. Tarry ye here and watch with me. And he went a little farther and fell on his face and prayed, saying, O my Father, if it be possible, if it be possible, if it be possible, it ain't even possible. You got to deal with this here. This here got to be dealt with. And only you could deal with this. You see what had happened since the beginning until now, according to sin. And only the Lamb of God can take away the sins of the world. You already know you had been slain before the foundation of the world, so you already know how this is going to play out. It's going to be painful, baby, but you got to go through this. If it be possible, he prayed, if it be possible, let this cup pass from me. The wrath of God against sin. God hates sin. God had to deal with sin. So now we done went through all this time for God to do what he said he was going to do. And y'all going to tell me that it was paid on the cross? One thing about God, he's the author and the finisher. One thing about God, the work he began, he going to finish. One thing about God, he going to remind you about where you came from. I didn't come from the cross. I came from in that garden. And when I read Revelation, if I go all the way back to the end, it's going to tell me about what? The garden. So where y'all get this other stuff from? That's all I be saying, bro. Make it make sense. Because it don't make sense, the stuff y'all be saying. This dude is praying. This dude about to go through something. Why? He about to face death. He see death. He already see what death did to us when he seen Martha and Mary crying. What y'all crying for, baby? I'm the resurrection. Y'all gonna see him again? Jesus crying because he's seen what death do to us. Well, you need to talk to Adam. Because it was in that garden when God told Adam, if you touch that tree, you're gonna die. He didn't understand death. Who died before? He the only person in the world. He the only person in the world. Who died? Nobody. But God let them know, say, bro, you're going to have to deal with physical death. You're going to have to deal with spiritual death. You're going to have to deal with eternal death. Oh, okay. And a lot of people, we already know, all you do is pass by the graveyard. That's physical death. A lot of people, you already know, who are spiritually dead, have no spiritual understanding, no spiritual belief, spiritually dead. Then there are going to be those who are going to have to experience eternal death. And all eternal death is being away from God forever. Forever. That's all it is. Making it to heaven, making it to the new city, the holy Jerusalem, is being in the presence of God forever. So you got a choice. You either be out of the presence of God forever, eternal death, or in the presence of God forever, living with him for eternity. It's just that simple. But we got to make it sound good so y'all can feel good, so y'all can give good, and y'all spiritually dead because y'all don't have no understanding of God. I said what I said and I stand on it. And whoever don't like it, that's your business. Why? See, bro, this is about your relationship with God. This is about where you're going to spend eternity. And you're going to let somebody play with that? Shh, not me. Not me. You ain't about to play with that one, big. Why? I know the difference. And a lot of them don't know the difference. They don't even explain the difference. Watch this. I don't know how I get here in Ezekiel, but watch this. Ezekiel 33 and 20, Ezekiel 33 and 6 says, but if the watchman see the sword come and blow not the trumpet, and the people be not warned, if the sword come and take any person from among them, he is taken away in his iniquity, but his blood will I require at the watchman's hand. I just said it. I say, bro, if you don't like the way I said it, that's your business. I'm going to say what I got to say. Why? Because we don't like warnings. We want stuff to sound good so we can feel good. God going to deal with you. You better get yourself together. Bottom line, that lady lived to be 92 years old at that funeral yesterday. And after 92 years of running through this world, she's going to get in that car and take her last ride. That's a wrap. So the time going to come. If I don't warn you and something happened to you, God going to say, Mike, why you ain't telling me what I told you? Well, God, they don't like the way you talk like that. But why you didn't say what I told you to say? But God, they say you got to talk like this, and you got to speak like that, and you got to sit up like this. And but Mike, say, Beth, where did you get that from? A warning is a warning, regardless of how it comes. I ain't turning it in. Y'all see these pages flipping. I ain't finished. Watch this. He that is taken away in his iniquity sins, but his blood will I require at the watchman's hand. So thou, O son of man, I have set thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. Therefore shalt thou hear the word at my mouth and warn them from me. Nah, put that in your pipe and smoke. What's that, babe? Turn your pages, God in your face. Wow. Okay, I don't know how you do it, Cal, bro. It's his word. Right. So what I look like writing something down to tell you what God said, well, I don't know what this dude gonna turn in your pages. It ain't me, bro. That's what I be trying to get them to understand, bro.
The knowledge that he gave you.
Yeah, but it still ain't me. He said that.
That he gave you, though.
He told Ezekiel, bro, you tell them what to say. I'm going to give it to you, you tell it to them. Right. So as he give it to me, I give it to you. You know what I'm saying? So my thing is, say, bro, it can be very distasteful. It can be very hardening, right?
But still give it to him.
Whether they like it or not. It ain't my fault.
But if they are that smart, so supposed to be that book smart, and they read and study what you done gave them, they see what you're saying, that it's not a lie.
It's not.
Because, like you said before, that they're so wrapped up in
But this the thing. This the thing, Kel. It's not, a lot of it comes from falsification. I know what I know, but then here you come. Even though I know what I know, you still can falsify it. You know what I mean? You can still give me some false information. You can still give me some false teaching on top of what I already know. And this is what's been happening to a lot of people, because we never took the time to stop and detox of a lot of the bad teaching we already have. And then we get this other false on top of the bad, and this is what really messes us up. And that's why we say the things we say. Because we only repeating what we heard. The majority of us never really went and opened this Bible and really took and got with God and studied for ourselves. We're not going to do that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I've been out here 3 years, man. I done made 3 years. And yet, I'm still waiting for somebody to say, oh no, according to right here, you wrong. According to right here, that's not like that. Still, in 3 years, nobody showed up yet. So now, it's not even about y'all no more. It ain't even about you all. It ain't about you all. Right. This is real personal now. Because now it's between God and I. This is where I really done got personal at. Because now I have to really, really stay focused on God Because once you start doing so many accomplishments, then you begin to get into self.
Self.
And that's when the trouble comes. So now,
That
do
what
I
happened
fall
with them
back?
from back in the day.
You know what I'm saying? Do I fall back and be like, oh man, God, I ain't worried about the people you dig? Then no, I gotta stay focused on God, because as the watchman, as the one who has given it to, say, Mike, bro, you can't. Everybody don't think the same way. Everybody not gonna feel the same way. You gotta have that understanding. But at the same time, you always have to come as a child to God. Don't never think you know it all, because you never will. So no matter what I say, no matter what I'm doing, I may be cutting a fool, but I'm still listening. I'm still watching. Why? Because I'm being held responsible. And no matter what I say or do, somebody's watching. So my life have to always come off as a warning. No matter what, it have to come off as a warning, because you can live, even though you're in the world, you're not of the world.
Right.
You can live, but don't live to the fact where you don't Lord focus on who I am and get to cut the fool, and I'm going to deal with you. So no matter what I say and do, I'm always focused on God. So when I go to sleep, I don't know how to talk like that or say it like that. Why? I didn't come up in the church like that. I didn't go to nobody Bible, college, seminary, and they made me speak like that. Why? Say, bro, this is where I come from. This is how I know it. This is how I'm related. So whether you like it or not, it ain't about whether you like it or not. Jesus ain't like going through what he getting ready to go through. But he had to do it. And he gave us the biggest example that, man, he said, the spirit is definitely willing, but the flesh weak. And a lot of us don't know, we don't really know the difference between the spirit and the flesh. Because the flesh want what the flesh want, and the spirit want what it want. So it's just a walk, it's just a walk. Who am I satisfied? My spirit man or my flesh?
Flesh man.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's hard, man.
It
So
is.
even to sit here and let go of 15 pages, attorney pages, 15 pages, say, bro, this is nothing, this is live. This is not being edited. Nothing I'm going back and do a record. No, we take this, I put that in. No, this is being done in y'all face. And everything